To begin, or as a point of departure, I just want to highlight the issue that we almost have forgotten. This is about the disparity in distribution of global resources in health. This issue was very important in the beginning of this century, and the global resources are how the global resources are being distributed across the globe, across the countries. This was very important agenda in the beginning of this century. Again, I just want to repeat it. This was perceived by the global community of the researchers that 90% of the global resources was being used or being spent or invested in health research of the problems that 10% of the world population were suffering from. And only the 10% of the global resources was used in the health research of the problems that 90% of the world population were suffering. And this gap was known as 1090 gap. And to address this 1090 gap, a very special organization was established back in 2005 or 2006 called Global Forum for Health Research. And the Global Forum for Health Research announced that there should be very ethical and very logical and justifiable distribution of global resources in health research around the world. And Global Forum for Health Research claimed to maintain, to attain poverty, equity, and justice through the health. And today we are so happy that this 24th Fercap conference has set a theme of maximizing benefits through responsible conduction of health research. But this is extremely important when you talk about the benefit, whom benefit we are talking about. Therefore, this disparity in global resources in health was this was very much supported by World Health Organization, and it was really, really well established. But unfortunately, now this issue has been collapsed. And the Global Forum for Health Research is collapsed. It's pushed in the shadow, and we do not know what gap is existing today. And we do not know what kind of distribution is taking place of the global resources in health research. But I'm confident that the 1090 gap exists even today. And this is a time for health research to renounce the equitable distribution of global resources in health. Otherwise, when we talk about the capacity building, it's extremely difficult how we build our capacity without the resources. And we know that the country like ours, country like Nepal, will not be able to fund sufficiently in health research. And we are very much dependent on the global resources, and the global resources must be equitably and justifiably distributed in health research. This is what I just want to mention. And now, as ethics, I think when you talk about the research, yes, the researchers have definitely contributed a lot to improve the health status of different countries, including Nepal. And now, when you talk about the ethics in health research, I would like to mention just 2 points which are very much focusing to Nepal, and I'm sure that these points are relevant to many other countries. The one point is this is about the disparity in health status of the people. In Nepal, if you look at the average progress of the country, I think Nepal has done tremendous progress in health. And many health indicators have been improved. And this improvement, this achievement has not only been appreciated within the country, but also appreciated in international community as well. Because we have reduced the maternal mortality rate, we have reduced child mortality rate, we have reduced the morbidity, and we have prolonged our life expectancy to the extent. If you look at the life expectancy, maybe if you compare with the 50 years back, it's amazingly we have improved life expectancy. And the question is, of course, this national gross average improvement has already pushed the real status of health of population in the country. I just want to give one example. There are so many examples of the disparity of health status in the country. The one example I just want to give, infant mortality rate. If you compare the infant mortality rate over the 3 decades in Nepal, it has been reduced so tremendously. I mean, we were very happy. We feel proud of reducing infant mortality rate in the country. Because infant mortality rate in 1996, we had more than 90 per thousand live births. But today, we have reduced to in around 20 per thousand live births. If we compare with 2016, it was 28 per thousand live births. I think this reduction is tremendous and it's very inspiring for us. But it's not enough just to see the average reduction of infant mortality rate in the country. If you look at the disparity in infant mortality rate among the people living in different parts of the world, in different parts of the country and living in different status, different condition of the country, this is something that we should think very seriously. It means in 1996, when we had infant mortality rate around 90 per thousand live births, there was disparity and difference between the highest and lowest mortality, infant mortality rate, just by less than 50%, around 45-46% difference. But today, when we have reduced infant mortality rate to less than 30 per thousand live births, the disparity between the highest and the lowest infant mortality rate is around 90% in the country. It means we have reduced the gross average of infant mortality rate, but we have not been able to address the disparity among the people living in different parts of the country, living in different status. Because disparity is being increased, difference is being increased. Therefore, this is very important point as an ethical issue in health research that we have contributed. The health research has contributed to produce the different tools to reduce the infant mortality rate. But it's extremely important how these tools are equally relevant to all sectors of population in the country. It should be taken as an ethical issue in health research, because this is whole issue of equity and justice in health. And the second point I just want to very briefly is about the financial burden to the population because of the health situation in the country. I think the financial burden is extremely high in the country. And I think every 1 in 10 service users, 1 in 10 service users have experienced a catastrophic expenditure in health. This is extremely serious situation in the country. And I think it's very important that we have Professor Dr. Sivaraj Adhikari, whose research I have been using in many occasions about the financial burden because of the health expenditure. He is, as health economist, I think I feel very proud of finding him as a vice chair, honorable vice chair of National Planning Commission, and I'm so proud of using his research findings in many occasions of my deliberations. Here I just want to say that in Nepal today, every year more than 400,000 population, which is more than 1% of the total population, are pushed below the poverty line simply because of expenditure in health. And there are a lot of people who are in the below poverty line. They could come up, but they have not been able to come up simply because of the expenditure in health. Therefore, this has been a serious issue. There are plenty of underlying causes of this expenditure, this financial burden. But one of the issues that we should seriously be thinking of for the health research is we are very much influenced by this market economic theory in health. Therefore, this is time for the health researchers to seriously consider and to displace this market economy theory in health and generate new theory of health economics, which will be based on equity and justice. And this is the ethical, due for the health research. I think we should think about it. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Saradraj Anta. He is also the former member secretary of NHRC. Thank you so much for that insightful keynote speech. We very much appreciate your presence and insight as well. I kindly request all our speakers to be mindful of the time because we are having a little time barrier. Thank you so much. Time barrier. Thank you so much. With this, I'd also like to inform all our guests that we have a very, very special keynote speech lined up for you, but that will be happening on the other half of the inaugural session. And now, for the inaugural remarks, I would like to invite Dr. Roshan Pokhrel, Secretary, Ministry of Health and Population. Thank you.
Thank you, Sona. Good morning, co-chairs of the session, Honorable Minister of Health and Population, Honorable Vice Chair of National Planning Commission, Member Secretary of NSRC, Dr. Pramod Joshi, Chairperson of MEC, all respected seniors and colleagues from different countries and colleagues from Nepal. Namaste and good morning. I really have nothing to say. I want to listen to what you have to say today. So I take this opportunity to welcoming you in Nepal, in Kathmandu, for this special conference which the country has hosted, and I take this opportunity to thank Fercap for all the work that has gone through, and all the Fercap members. Welcome to Nepal. My only thing is, as a techno-bureaucrat, I am a bureaucrat, a technical bureaucrat working for the government for the last 23 years. And to see, I'm not a researcher, so to see all the researchers out here, it feels I have immense gratitude, immense respect towards you. Whatever findings you give me, if we can collaborate together and make sure that as a policymaker, if I can implement that finding, that is the most important thing for me. So seeing all of you out here and with all the government officials and non-government partners sitting together at the same room for the betterment of health research, this is what we want. And thank you all for your presence out here. And this is what we want everywhere in the world. Not only researchers sitting together and giving out some inferences, or policymakers sitting together knowing exactly what to do, knowing exactly what not to do and what to do. If we can work together, and if you researchers can give us certain policy brief so that we can togetherly implement that in a ethical way, and as Professor Wanta said, in distributing it collectively throughout the country, then I think we have done our work. So thank you very much for all of you for being here, and we hope that this deliberation will definitely give something for the government to make sure we have our new policies and we can implement it in the coming days. Thank you very much. Welcome to Nepal.
Thank you so much, Dr. Roshan Pokhrel, Secretary, Ministry of Health and Population, for that short inaugural remarks. Moving ahead, may I now have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Anjani Kumar Jha, Vice Chairman, Nepal Medical Education Commission, for the inaugural remarks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samaji. Namaste. Chair of this session, Honorable Minister for Health and Population, Mr. Pradeep Paudel, distinguished dignitaries, esteemed guests, experts, researchers, former chairpersons, participants from different countries in this hall, more number of foreigners are more than the Nepalese. This is really an international conference. Thank you, Dr. Pramod. As a Vice Chairperson of Medical Education Commission, it is a true honor to stand before you today at the 24th International Fercap Conference. As an immediate past chairperson of Nepal Health Research Council, I am filled with pride and gratitude to witness the continued progress and commitment to promote responsible conduct of health research, and would like to acknowledge the organizing and steering committee for hosting such a historical conference in the context of health research ethics here in Nepal. I had the privilege of serving as a chairman of Nepal Health Research Council and had a chance to contribute to the country's health research ethics. Today is a moment of great joy for me to look back on the work we did, and especially the achievement we celebrated in 2019 when Fercap accredited the NHRC's Ethical Review Board. This milestone did not just happen overnight. It is the result of years of hard work, collaboration, and dedication of many people who believe the importance of evolving research ethics in Nepal. Our journey began back in 2008 when we first discussed the possibility of Fercap accreditation for the NHRC. At that time, we knew we had a long road ahead of us. There were a lot of factors to consider: strengthening our ethical review process, training researchers and review committee members, and ensuring that our research was meeting international standards. The workshop we held in 2008 was an important first step in the lobbying of Fercap accreditation. It was an opportunity for us to learn, share experiences, and understand what was needed to meet the high standards the Fercap set. At that point, we were not sure how long it would take or what the challenges would be, but we knew it was a crucial goal for the growth of health research in Nepal. And I am proud to say that after years of hard work and perseverance, in 2019, the Nepal Health Research Council was achievement was not just a win for the NHRC, but the entire health research community in Nepal. It means that our system, process, and ethical standards since then are internationally recognized. Knew that the work does not to focus on. The world of research is constantly evolving with a new technology and methods emerging all the time. Issues such as data privacy, AI in healthcare, process. The organized other shares our experiences and work together to address the challenges we face in research ethics. At last, I want to express my gratitude once again to the Fercap for its support over the years. Being part of this community has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my career. I want to thank all those who contributed to Nepal's accreditation process, whether they were part of the NHRC or other institutions working behind the scenes. To all the researchers, policymakers, and it is here today, I urge you to keep pushing the. Let's continue to work together to ensure that the research we conduct only scientifically sound, but also it is also ethically responsible. Thank you and great wishes for the success of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anjani Kumar Jha, Vice Chairman, Nepal Medical Education Commission, for that insightful opening remarks. Thank you so much. Health is not just about the absence of sickness. I think it's beyond that. And to achieve that goal, we all need is definitely a responsible research system. And we will be talking about responsible research throughout the day as we are having thought-provoking sessions lined up for you after the inaugural session. Moving ahead, may I now invite Dr. Sivaraj Adhikari, Vice Chairman, National Planning Commission, for the inaugural remarks, and a big round of applause for all our wonderful speakers.
Thank you so much. Respected chairs of this session, Honorable Minister for Health and Population, Mr. Fercap Paudel, distinguished national and international delegates, experts, researchers, media friends, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all. It is great honor and privilege to address this esteemed gathering today. As a Vice Chairperson of National Planning Commission, I am truly delighted to be in presence of such a distinguished audience, united by shared dedication to advancing research and promoting responsible applications. The theme of today's conference, maximizing benefits through responsible conduct of research, is both timely and highly significant. Responsible conduct of research means following two ethical principles, maintaining honesty and transparency, and ensuring that outcomes believed not only for the research community, but also society at large. At the core of responsible research lies commitment to uphold the highest ethical standards. This includes treating research participants with respect and dignity, ensuring informed consent, protecting privacy, and safeguarding against harm. Researchers bear the ethical responsibility of conducting studies that neither exploit nor manipulate individuals or groups. Responsible conduct also involves the strict adherence to established guidelines, best practices, ensuring fairness and transparency throughout the research process. The philosophy behind the maximizing benefit through responsible conduct of research is rooted in several fundamental principles. For example, ethical duty. Research is not merely about only generating knowledge, but it is also respecting the human dignity and rights. Researchers have profound ethical duty to prioritize the well-being of participants and society and above all, the integrity as a foundation. The integrity serves as a cornerstone of responsible research. This principle emphasizes the truthless and transparency, and ensuring that pursuit of knowledge is guided by honesty with no distortion of manipulation of conduct or reporting the research. Promoting good and preventing harms. And research should be a force of positive change. This philosophy underscores the belief that research must enhance the well-being of individuals and society while actively preventing harms, thereby making a meaningful difference. Social justice and fairness. The ethical principle of research stresses that its benefits should be inclusive and accessible to all, not conform to the privileged few. The researchers are called to address society inequalities and ensuring their work does not exploit and manipulate the vulnerable population. Similarly, accountability and transparency. Researchers must be accountable for their work and its impact. Transparency across all the stages of research, from the design to dissemination. It is vital to maintaining public trust and ensuring rigorous ethical standards. Long-term responsibility. Responsible research extends beyond the immediate outcomes. This principle calls on researchers to consider the lasting implication of their work, determined for sustainable and long-lasting benefit that serve future generations. Collaboration for collective goods. At its core, research is a collaborative endeavor, and this philosophy promotes interdisciplinary culture and community collaboration, recognizing that diverse perspectives and enriched knowledge leads to more meaningful outcomes. In essence, this philosophy frames the responsible research as a moral and social imperative and emphasizing the ethical conduct, inclusively sustainability, and the pursuit of societal goods throughout honesty, fairness, and collaboration. To whom does responsible research benefit? That is the major question here. And the responsible research benefits multiple stakeholders in significant ways. First, participants. It safeguards the rights, interests, and well-being of the research participants, ensuring their dignity and safety throughout the research process. And the researchers and institutions. By adhering the ethical principle, researchers and institutions uphold the integrity of their research, fostering trust and credibility within the academic scientific community. Society. The responsible research serves the society by addressing the real-world challenges, improving the public health, enhancing the education and providing valuable insight into the pressing issues such as environmental sustainability and policy and governance. Trustworthy, ethically conducted research provides the reliable evidence to guide the effective policy making. It supports of governance in making informed evidence-based decisions for the benefit of the public. Responsible research creates a foundation for trust, credibility, and impact that benefits individuals, institutions, and society as a whole. How to maximize the benefit through responsible conduct of research? That is another question for us. Maximizing the benefits research through responsible conduct requires adherence to several key principles. Researchers must follow the established ethics standards and frameworks, and that emphasizes the honesty, integrity, and fairness. This includes avoiding the practices of such as plagiarism, data falsification, and misinterpretation of the results. The responsible research involves clear and accurate reporting of methods, resulting and conclusion. Transparency allows for replication of studies, enhances trust in findings, and ensures the conflict of interest or potential bias are disclosed to maintain neutrality. And the researcher should design studies that include the diverse participants, particularly those from the marginalized group, to avoid the biased outcomes and ensure the research findings are representative of equitable. And researcher must remain accountable throughout the research process. Peer review provides an additional layer of the accountability and ensuring the quality, integrity, and reliability of research outcomes. And the research findings should be applied in ways that address the real society needs and contribute to the greater good while avoiding the harms to the individuals, communities, and environment. Researchers should consider the sustainability of their practices and long-term implication of their findings, ensuring their work benefit future generations. And assessing the benefit of responsible research requires the multidimensional approach to identify both the direct recipient of the research and its broader society impact. By embracing these principles, researchers can ensure their work is ethically conducted, impactful, and beneficial to all stakeholders involved. In this regard, the Forum of the Ethical Review Committee in the Asia invaluable platform evidence-based policy, driving development, and fostering societal progress. However, the trust potential of research can only be realized when it is conducted ethically and responsibly. Yeah. Failing to address to these principles risks creating inequalities, misinformation policies are eroding the public trust, and outcomes that we must actively prevent. In conclusion, let us fully hold the transformative potential of research while ensuring it's grounded in ethics and responsibility. Every study we undertake, every insight we generate, every policy we shape must strive to advance knowledge, foster foster trust and benefit humanity. Thank you, and I extend my best wishes for productive and inspiring conference. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Sivraj Adhikari, Vice Chairperson, National Planning Commission. Thank you so much for that insightful inaugural remarks. Ethics is definitely the religion of science, I guess, because any tool can be used for good or bad. It's ethics that sets us apart. We will be learning more about ethics in research on the other half of the day after the inaugural session, ladies and gentlemen. We are more than overwhelmed to have Honorable Minister of Health and Population as a chief guest for this inaugural session of 24th Fercap International Conference, ladies and gentlemen. With great joy and honor, I invite Honorable Pradeep Paudel, Minister of Health and Population, for the inaugural remarks. And I also beg a pardon for the earlier mishap. I slightly mispronounced his surname. I beg a pardon. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister of Health and Population, Mr. Pradeep Paudel, up on the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Samaji. Namaste. Honorable Chair of this program, Giriraj Baral, Chair of Fercap, Kenji Hiroyama, Vice President of National Planning Commission, Vice President of Nepal Medical Education Board, Secretary of Health and Ministry, and Member Secretary of NHRC, distinguished national and international delegates, experts, researchers, media friends, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to welcome all the international delegates here in Nepal. It gives me immense pleasure to join the inauguration of the 24th Fercap International Conference here in the beautiful and culturally rich land of Nepal. As we gather here, we find ourselves at the confluence of science, ethics, research, and public health. Being the Minister of Health and Population, I am truly proud to see such a diverse group of experts gathered here to share ideas, discuss challenges, and collaborate on finding the solution that will shape the future of ethics in research. Also, I would like to thank the organizers for their outstanding efforts in bringing together expert thought leaders, researchers, and policymakers who all committed to the advancement of ethical research practices. Research ethics are the core of building trust in healthcare system, ensuring the well-being of research participants and advancing scientific knowledge in a responsible and accountable way. The work we do in health research impacts the lives of millions of people, and we have to make sure that the work is conducted with the highest ethical standard. In this regards, this conference plays an indispensable role in fostering the highest standard of research ethics. In Nepal, we understand the importance of ethical practices in conducting health research. Nepal Health Research Council is playing an important role in maintaining the highest ethical standards, ensuring that our research meets international standards just a few years ago. NHRC received accreditation from Fercap which was a proud moment of us and a clear reconciliation of the hard work that has gone into improving research ethics in Nepal. This achievement has not only endorsed the confidence of our research community, but also brought international recognition to the quality of research being conducted here. But this is just the beginning. The journey towards moving health research practices is ongoing, and we are committed to do more. As we begin this conference, I would like to encourage all of you to think about the future of health research and the impact that our work will have on future generations. Let us be inspired by the discussions that will take place over the next few days and work together to create a more ethical, responsible, and inclusive research environment. Lastly, I would like to thank the organizing committee for hosting this important event here in Nepal. I wish you all the grand success for the conference. Let's take this opportunity to learn from each other, strengthen our commitment to ethical health research, and continue working together for the betterment of global health. Thank you all for your valuable contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that insightful remarks, and thank you for the words of encouragement as well. Our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Pradeep Paudel, Minister of Health and Population. A big round of applause for our chief guest. Despite his busy schedule, he made for this event. Thank you so much. We are more than elated to have him here as a chief guest for the inaugural session. Due to prior commitment of the Honorable Minister, he will not be able to join us in the full place, but we really appreciate his time and effort. To all our esteemed guests for their time and effort, we are just acknowledging them with the token of appreciation. I request